up. Now this misery is not being caused organically from the fall of man, the original sin. It's being caused by these people. These people are usurpers, hijackers. They're trying to steal God's position and place. But he's the only rightful guy, the only rightful God. And these people are got to go down, and they will go down. And we got to let them know that's what's coming, man, with great confidence. They're talking about lowering nicotine in cigarettes, and the cigarette companies are on board. Well, obviously they're going to sell a lot more cigarettes because people have their bodies are used to a certain amount of nicotine in their blood, right? That's what they're craving, the nicotine. This is why people keep smoking, and now they're going to lower it, so people are going to smoke more. So it's going to hurt people's health. They don't care. It's all about profits. It's that sick, folks. Okay, I mean, I am not being overly cynical. You've got to be very skeptical, very cynical about these people's desire and what their motivation is. They're evil, man. I'm telling you, up one side, down the other, and to the nth degree. Their fruits are rotten. They stink to high heaven. They behave in a very ungodly fashion. I'm not condemning them. I'm not judging them, but there's a whole lot of these people working in the establishment. It's really the only division in the land is establishmentarians versus anti-establishmentarians. And I believe Trump supporters are the anti-establishmentarians. And, you know, so I support that side. I want real change. I want progress. I want some justice. I want us to at least be seeking to be free, not for some select few, some privileged few. No, some advantaged few, some few that have the benefit of the affirmative action, the reverse discrimination. No, freedom has to be for everybody. And it has everything to do with economic matters, everything to do with Satan's ambrosia, money. Okay, it's an antichrist. This is an anti-God entity. It's a competitor. It's a nemesis. It's an enemy of God's. It's a false god, essentially. Okay, you can't love two masters. You will hate the one and love the other, love the one and hate the other. This is why I openly say to God all the time, I hate my life. I can't stand it. I hate this money-based unreality that Satan has produced, and all his minions of the establishment want to keep on just shoving it down my throat more and more and more in a worse, more pernicious fashion. All of us, innocents that just are willing to go work and serve, but we want hope. We want justice. We want to be able to have some semblance of freedom and happiness and contentment. And we can't do that when we keep seeing this thing get worse and worse and worse through currency debasement, through a rising cost of living tax. It's simple. Can somebody else besides me explain this to the public, please? One of Alex Jones's reporters, one of his guests, somebody. But that's why I say I feel like an alien, like I'm the only guy with the glasses on in the room. But this stuff is simple to understand, and people got to stop shying away and pretending it's not real, and that it's not nuts and bolts, 2 + 2, and very simple to understand and to find solutions for. But there's all these forces of the establishment fighting against it, throwing mud in the water, confuse the issues. No, that guy's stupid. He's radical. He's a pipe dreamer. He's an idealist. Don't listen. He's a goner, man. You know what I mean? Don't listen to that guy. But really, I'm educated. I read through and through the Wealth of Nations by the greatest economist that probably ever lived, that devoted his life to the study of economics, Adam Smith. Okay, no, I know what I'm talking about. And I went through it tediously, and I picked out those nuggets that spoke the truth. Very consistent with Scripture, even though he never got into didn't touch on religion at all. Okay, but he was obviously a believer in all likelihood. But so what? Those are the most intelligent people are believers. They say, well, it's really stupid not to believe there's a God. But is that what they're teaching in the colleges and university now? No. You know, Alex Jones is the kind of guy who'll turn left if you tell him he should go right. You know, he's stubborn as the day is long. And, you know, he's really one bona fide stubborn bastard, and I get it, you know. And, you know, some people just can't take advice. They've just got to rule the roost in their way, and they're good at telling other people the score, but, you know, they're not too good at getting told the score. But he needs to chill a little bit on the expletive, get control of his tongue, and don't listen to that television blurb that told him that, you know, the people that cuss the most are the most intelligent. That's a stupid thing for them to say. What kind of a poll is that? You know, really, you got to wonder what kind of research they did for that one. But it's human nature to have this false pride and be stubborn. So Alex is not doing anything but displaying basic human nature, we have a hard time being corrected. You know, it's kind of like, well, then that means I got to admit I'm wrong. But no, I'm very passionate, and I'm not. Nobody's gonna trample on my free speech. So if I want to use expletives, you know, I'm gonna do it, even though it might offend a lot of people, and it's unnecessary, because when you've got a repertoire of words like Alex Jones has, his lexicon, his vernacular, his vocabulary, you don't need that to make your point. You can do it. You can get passionate and excited about it, but there's plenty of words to supplant cuss words and cursing and profanity and expletives. Okay, it's just a fact. So, but you know, carry on. I'm sure you'll keep doing what you do and keep saying GD, because I'm sitting here telling you that I think you do yourself a great service if you just stop doing that one thing. But oh well, you know, that's just the way it is. So, you know, people have the free will choice to do it and say and think what they want to do, say, and think, and I wouldn't take that away from anybody. Austin, Texas bombings are, you know, these were terrorism. Now they got this guy. They shot him dead. No, they didn't shoot him dead. He blew his own. He was literally hoisted by his own petard. Huh? That's ironic, isn't it? Uber self-driving car killed a pedestrian. Hits and killed a pedestrian. I think Trump greatly values his conscience, integrity, and honor, reputation, and his soul, and his nation. As such, he'll do everything in his power to eliminate homelessness in America, my beloved nation. You know, this thing about capitalism, you know, if you make it fun, it's great. When I used to play Candyland, everybody that has kids has probably played Candyland. I decided to change up the rules because I didn't like to see any gloating. And so what I did was because, you know, people get upset, children especially, you know, the sore losing and all that kind of stuff. And it's just, you know, it's ubiquitous. Every kid gets like this. But I decided that whatever player was behind in the game, it was always their turn. You get how that works? So it stayed close right until the end. Nobody knew who was going to win. It was a lot more fun. It's the way to go. That's how capitalism ought to be played. If you're getting ahead, well, then let others get ahead. You see, this could be a lot of fun to play this game of capitalism, free market, supply and demand capitalism, if we played with godly rules of integrity and honor and justice for all, not some. Okay, if we're going to shrink this wealth imbalance, we're not going to do it by taking from the haves. I don't believe in that. That's theft. I believe in just allowing the have-nots to have. That's how it's going to be done. And it's going to be done through sound economic policies, sound money. That's how you're going to get the opposite of currency debasement. You're going to get cost of living tax deflation, so thereby the worth of your currency keeps going up. So that'll be the evidence. That's a litmus test to see if we're making progress. If this, you know, ship has turned around, if this train has come to a stop and gone on another track, that'll be your evidence. Facebook stepped in it deep, and they're in a lot of trouble from this one group, this data marketing and all this crap. They let them get into their people's private information. Let's see. Maryland school shooter shot dead after trying to kill his ex-girlfriend and purportedly her new boyfriend. That's kind of funny, huh? Sad, funny. Trump says he wants to give the death penalty to the opiate pushers. That's funny. I mean, not really funny, but sounds very Trumpian. He's being politically hyperbolic, and he knows his base likes capital punishment. But I don't think he's as big a fan. But he's got his own way of persuading people that it's probably not the right thing, or he hasn't thought it through. Because I think the intellectual people I've talked to, biblically based too, intellectuals, agree that capital punishment is not the right approach. This is probably not what God would do. The eye for an eye thing, Jesus said no. We're all murderers.